Good evening. Coming up tonight.
USC's tuition freeze could defrost.
And hear how the Soda City has been celebrating the Gamecocks' national championship title.
Later, an exclusive interview with the director of Hero.
All that and more tonight on Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Bridget Bruchalski.
And I'm Erin Smith. Thanks for joining us tonight.
USC's tuition freeze might be defrosting. State senators are considering allowing colleges and universities to raise tuition rates up to 2% for in-state students. This will be breaking a 6-year freeze. This is due to various budget constraints and rising inflation. Schools have requested $128 million more in annual money from state coffers for various reasons, including tuition mitigation and scholarships. Yet, the proposed budget falls short to meet the requests. According to the state newspaper, the Senate aims to negotiate flexibility with the House regarding tuition increases. However, Governor Henry McMaster opposed the proposition with concern of inflation on families. In the case that schools can raise tuition rates, any increase would require schools to justify the necessity and outline cost-saving measures.
This week, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency issued a rule that restricts forever chemicals in drinking water. The levels of most common forever chemicals, known as PFOA and PFOs, must be below 4 parts per trillion. By setting limits on the levels of forever chemicals, thousands of deaths and serious illnesses are expected to be prevented. According to last year's data from the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, over 50 South Carolina water systems, including Columbia's, have levels of forever chemicals that are too high for the new regulation. To achieve water quality that complies with the new rule, the City of Columbia could potentially be looking at millions of dollars in annual costs, on top of the price to install new filters, which is estimated to be $150 million. City officials are concerned they may have to raise water rates to accommodate this.
USC PD challenged students on Green Street earlier this week with impairment goggles mimicking drunk or high vision. From slight impairment to 5 times the legal limit, students tried a golf cart course, shedding light on the dangers of impaired driving. SGTV's Grace Berkery has the story.
Just 1 foot in front of the other. Seems simple enough, right? Well, maybe not while you're wearing impairment goggles. USC PD gathered on Green Street today to put students to the test, using goggles that imitate what it looks like to be drunk or high. The goggles range from slightly impaired to almost 5 times the legal limit, and a golf cart course was created to test students driving while their vision was hindered.
Looking at the course itself, it doesn't seem too difficult, but let's try it for ourselves.
As you can probably imagine, I didn't do so well on the course. Other students started to take part as well and noted how difficult it was to see with the goggles.
It felt scary because it was almost like every cone was like, there were like 1 cone was like 3 cones.
As funny as it was to watch myself fail at driving through the cones, it posed an uneasy feeling about the dangers of drunk driving. In a study released by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration in 2022, alcohol-related deaths in South Carolina rose to 474, a 72% increase from 2019, putting South Carolina as the 5th highest state for drunk driving deaths. Sergeant Kyle Gilbert says students need to know about these dangers, especially with 2 popular bar areas close to campus.
Our main goal is just to keep the students safe, keep the community safe. So because DUI is 100% preventable. Just want to show people the importance of not getting behind the wheel impaired.
By hosting these events in the center of campus, USC PD hopes to teach a valuable lesson hands-on. For SGTV News, I'm Grace Berkery.
Thanks, Grace.
This week marks the 20th anniversary of USC students working at the Masters. Students who have taken the course Hospitality and Tourism Management 591, called Golf Tourism, and have completed an interview with the Augusta National representatives, are able to work at the Masters. The first year of this program, USC sent 21 students, and this year, around 600 Gamecocks are working the tournament. Students work a variety of jobs, from stocking golf shops to serving in restaurants. Aside from the Masters, the College of Hospitality, Retail, and Sports Management also sends students to the Players, the PGA Championship, the US Open, the Wells Fargo Championship, and the RBC Heritage. I'm actually kind of sad that I never took the class because I think it would be so fun to go work, and I work at a golf course at home, and I'd love the bragging rights of getting to go back and saying that I was at the Masters.
Oh, for sure. That would be such great bragging rights.
Yeah.
But wait, did you say 600 Gamecocks were there?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's crazy. Well, coming up after the break, SGTV sports reporters Karenna Porter and Violet Raftery will give us the latest in sports. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Karenna Porter.
And I'm Violet Raftery, here to give you the latest in sports.
Last Monday, the South Carolina women's basketball team brought the championship trophy back in the Soda City. The Gamecock community gathered at Colonial Life Arena to welcome the champs back home, and I was there to catch the celebration.
It's such a great season, and to see it cap off with a national championship and being the 10th team to only go undefeated was absolutely amazing.
Well, whenever we first started, I was a little worried. I was like, they got up, but then I realized we're the best in the country. So we're going to pull out the win, and I knew our ladies were going to pull it out, and we're going to win our third national championship, and I'm just glad we won.
I got to watch it again within my 4 years, and it was a great moment.
All that excitement was for the championship team that got quite the welcome in Columbia. Sunday, the undefeated Gamecocks took on the Iowa Hawkeyes in the Women's NCAA Tournament Championship. South Carolina came out victorious with a score of 87-75 to complete their perfect season, 38-0. The SEC champions earned their third national title in a decade. The three-peat Naismith Coach of the Year, Dawn Staley, spoke to fans. For SGTV, I'm Karenna Porter. But the big welcome home isn't the only championship celebration going on in Columbia. This Sunday, the city of Columbia is honoring South Carolina's 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship with a parade. The parade will begin on the 1700 block of Main Street and conclude in front of the South Carolina State House. After the parade, the team will hold a pep rally on the State House steps with speeches from Mayor Rickenman, Athletics Director Ray Tanner, Women's Basketball Head Coach Dawn Staley, and team members. The city invited local elected officials, government entities, city council members, university officials, and community partners to be in the parade. South Carolina women's basketball alumni, the South Carolina Band, cheerleaders, and Cocky will also be in attendance. Now, we've had so many fun activities going on to celebrate the championship, and I can't wait to see what this one brings.
Yeah, so you were at the welcome home party, and I just saw that package and all of the people who were also in attendance, so I cannot imagine how popular this parade will be, especially being that it's a weekend, so hopefully more people can make it out. Now, Tuesday night, it was a battle of the Carolinas for Gamecock baseball. South Carolina and North Carolina faced off at Truist Field in Charlotte. The unranked Yardcocks upset the 13th ranked Tar Heels in a pitcher's duel that came down to the last couple of innings. Dylan SQ got the start for the Gamecocks, holding the Tar Heels scoreless through his 3 1/3 innings pitched. Roman Kimball took the ball in the fourth, striking out 5 of 7 batters faced through the 6th inning. By the time Parker Marlett was on the mound, he had a 1-run lead to work with. Gavin Casas had put the Gamecocks ahead 1-0 with an RBI groundout back in the third. But Marlett gave up an RBI double to the Tar Heels' Colby Wilkerson in the bottom of the 7th to tie the game. That's when Connor McCreary took over. The deciding run came with an RBI double from Dylan Brewer in the 8th inning, solidifying the 2-1 win for the Gamecocks. And McCreary finished off the game with 5 strikeouts of his own, with the last coming on 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. He caught the batter looking to end the game. The road trip continues for South Carolina with its next series in Gainesville on Friday. So I'm sure this team has a lot of energy coming off back-to-back wins, especially in a win that ends like this, striking out the last batter in a close game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to see them do well because I'm sure Gamecock fans are happy for this change. Tuesday, the 23rd ranked Gamecock softball team fell to 19th ranked Clemson 7-0. South Carolina women's basketball national champions Raven Johnson and Camila Cardoso threw out the ceremonial first pitches. Infielder Denver Bryant led the Gamecocks at the dish, going 2 for 3 on the night. Riley Blampede, Anaya Black, and Bree Warren each earned a hit for the Gamecocks. Alex Brown led the Tigers with 2 hits on the night. The Tigers scored 2 runs in the second, 1 in the third, another in the fifth, and 3 in the seventh. The Gamecocks put runners on base in the first 5 innings, but were unable to translate their 5 hits into a run. South Carolina hosts number 17 Arkansas for a 3-game series beginning tomorrow.
Well, it's our last newscast of the semester and my last ever live show with SGTV. So I thought, what better way to end that than by doing what I do best, talking about even more baseball. With the MLB season in full swing, I've got an update on former Gamecocks in the big leagues. After a World Series win with the Rangers last season, Jordan Montgomery is joining former Gamecock teammate Christian Walker on the Diamondbacks in 2024. Montgomery had 5 starts and is credited with 3 wins in the 2023 postseason, helping to get his team the ring. Now, Montgomery made his first appearance for the Diamondbacks organization at the AAA level with the Reno Aces on Sunday. And back in the big leagues, Walker is batting .294 on the young season, already with 3 home runs and 51 at-bats. Whit Merrifield, a South Carolina native, is seeing a little less playing time with the Phillies, but he's still managed 1 run, 3 hits, and a stolen base. Over in a different league, Jackie Bradley Jr. may be making a comeback. He's announced he'll be continuing his baseball career after signing with the Long Island Ducks of the Independent Atlantic League. As Gamecocks, Merrifield, Bradley, and Walker were all a part of the 2010 World Series team. Bradley and Walker were back-to-back champions with the team in 2011, and Walker and Montgomery's paths crossed in 2012, where the season ended with a World Series appearance and the Gamecocks as runner-up. Now, Karenna, like I said, this is my last ever live show for SGTV, 55th and final, and so I just want to thank my amazing producers, Dakota and Abby, for letting me talk about baseball twice tonight.
Yeah, I know we're all going to miss you so much. You really were one of my main trainers, so
it's
going to be so sad. Coming up after the break, SGTV entertainment reporters Ali Popielarczyk and Emma Wyatt will lay down the talk of the town. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Carolina. I'm Emma Wyatt.
And I'm Ali Popielarczyk, here to give you the latest in this week's entertainment. Over at the Nickelodeon Theater, showings of the movie Hero are screening now. I sat down with the director and professor, Dustin Whitehead, to hear about local cinema studios and the Get On Set initiative. Local Cinema Studios is showcasing their new film titled Hero at the Nickelodeon Theater, located right here in Columbia. This film is a heartfelt journey that follows the life of a struggling male artist trying to support his ex-girlfriend in the wake of an unexpected pregnancy. Local Cinema Studios partners with the South Carolina Film Commission and the University of South Carolina every year to make local films as a part of the Get On Set initiative. The Get On Set initiative has helped students all across the state gain experience and develop their filmmaking skills by working on professional sets like Hero.
The idea is that the Get On Set initiative is somewhere in between a student film and a professional project, so it's a bridge into the industry. So although the demands of it are pretty high, like we have a lot to do and it's long hours and hard work, there's a lot of grace and a lot of space for questions and mentorship and just guidance along the way, which can be really rewarding for the students but also the professionals.
Students who have worked for local cinema studios praise the Get On Set initiative for providing a much-needed first opportunity at working in the film industry and connecting them with other Southeastern feature filmmakers.
You have all of these different pieces coming together to create, this vision. And to be able to be a part of that, even if it just was as a production assistant, I was able to speak to everybody. I was able to talk to the actors, the costume people, lighting, sound, the people that were in charge of like the script.
Set in Columbia, South Carolina, the film fully embraces the local community of the city by incorporating its culture, a locally made soundtrack, and talented local actors and actresses. You can see showings of Hero at the Nickelodeon Theater on Main Street between now and April 18th. General admission tickets are priced at $12 per person. For SGTV, I'm Allie Popielarczyk.
Emma, through this package, I got to learn a lot about the movie as a whole, and it's a great opportunity for students in the area to go see it, and they also got to be a part of it.
100%. I wrote this story last week, and it was really interesting getting, to find out more stuff about how people are really passionate about the Columbia area and all the history and beauty it has to offer. So I would love to check out this movie and maybe see some places that I go in Columbia myself.
Me too. We'll have to check it out sometime. As our broadcast for the night and the semester comes to an end, another chapter closes for USC Group. The class of 2024 will be retiring their Carolina card in 3 weeks, but before that happens, there is definitely some celebrating to do. Seniors can take part in the Drive Down Memory Lane on Monday, April 15th from 3 to 4 p.m. All of Green Street will be blocked off for the class to drive or walk down to commemorate all of the days they spent being a student in the exact same spot. After the parade finishes up, there will be a reception on the Russell House patio for everyone. You can come party with your friends or invite family members to walk beside you during this time of reflection. If you have any questions, reach out to Gamecock Entertainment on Instagram.
The annual South Carolina Food Truck and Craft Beer Festival is returning to SC for its 9th year. The Food Truck and Craft Beer Festival is a family-friendly event that takes place on Saturday, May 18th and lasts from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. and is located at the South Carolina State Fairgrounds. Over 25 of the Palmetto State's most beloved food trucks will be there, along with some of the best regional craft beers. The lineup of food includes New Orleans Creole, Cajun Soul, old-fashioned sodas, and seafood. Experiences also include face painting, music, and an artist market featuring many local businesses and crafters, making this event perfect for people of all ages. Tickets sold at the gate are priced at $10 each, with a $5 discount for those who bought online tickets in advance. Additionally, children that are ages 10 and under can be admitted for free. Well, Allie, I won't be here over the summer, but I know this would be an awesome event for students who are here over the summer for internships or just living here for summer start and things like that. Just to hang out with friends, try some new food, and, have a fun weekend.
Exactly. There's already so much culture around USC, and to have another extension of that for students to take a break with over the summer, because some of these summer jobs are no joke.
Yeah.
So it could be a great opportunity for them.
I agree. Who's ready to tee off into a week of pampering and fun? Well, grab your putters and join the Swinging Putt to Party Bash from April 8th to the 14th, inspired by none other than the Masters. We're turning up the floor at the Columbia Skin House, bringing you a hole-in-one experience that'll make you feel like a true golfing pro. And here's the sweet spot. You could score a hole-in-one of your own with a chance to win a DIY facial fight for you and your friends. But before we dive into all the details, let's talk about the rules, because we're all here to play fair, right? Here's how to get into the action. Every client gets one swing at making a hole-in-one before or after your service. Sink it, and not only do you putt yourself a $10 credit for your next visit, but you can also putt your name into the hat for an awesome DIY facial fight party. So if you're looking for a pampering session with a side of friendly competition, of course, the Skin House is the best place to be. And here's the hole-in-one special. Your chances to win double up. Swing by for another service, snap a selfie with your favorite skin tender, or why not do both? The lucky winner will be announced this Sunday at 4 p.m. So if you're in the Columbia area, swing by the Skin House located at 2000 Blossom Street. You won't want to miss out on this putt-tastic event.
It might not be stick season, but that doesn't mean we have to miss out on seeing Grammy nominee Noah Kahan in concert. This indie singer-songwriter has been making music for years, but his hit song Stick Season gained tons of popularity on TikTok and accumulated almost 800 million streams on Spotify. The Vermont native started his world tour, We'll All Be Here Forever, 2 weeks ago in Vancouver and will be making his way south for Carolina show dates. Con will be appearing at the High Water Festival on Saturday, April 20th in North Charleston, and will make his way to Asheville, North Carolina for one show on May 20th and one on the 22nd. Recently, he's been juggling not only his tour, but others as well, as he made guest appearances on the Olivia Rodrigo Guts Tour on Friday to perform a duet at Madison Square Garden. Not only that, Con brought a familiar face back to the Toronto stage on Saturday after almost 2 years of 0 live performances. Pop singer Shawn Mendes joined Con on stage to sing a duet, marking one of the rare times Mendes has sang live since canceling his world tour in 2022 due to focusing on mental health. After this performance, Con canceled his Sunday show, saying he performed while sick the night before. He has postponed the April 7th London, Ontario show to April 17th as to not damage his voice and body for the remainder of the tour. Fingers crossed he's back to his Northern Attitude self as soon as possible so he's ready to take on the Carolinas. Tickets for both the North Charleston and Asheville stops can be found on Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, StubHub, and NoahCon.com. Emma, I'm not a huge Noah Con fan, but of course Stick Season is on all of my playlists. I'm more of a Shawn Mendes and Olivia Rodrigo fan, so I love seeing their collabs.
Yeah, I've been listening to Noah Con for about a year now, and I love his music, and he'll be in my part of town, Charleston, so I think it'd be really cool to go out there and check it out because he is so talented, so good. And I'd be really curious to see who he does decide to bring out. Maybe Darius Rucker or another Charleston local. But, you know, I think that's the fun part of it all.
I would love to see him sing Wagon Wheel with Darius Rucker, so I'll send you to get videos for me for sure. That's all your entertainment news for tonight. After the break, Erin and Bridget will return to finish up tonight's news. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Student News at 7. Thanks for staying with us.
A significant energy bill moved forward in the Senate committee without much opportunity for understanding or public input. The controversial bill is the South Carolina Energy Security Act, which aims to address various aspects of the state energy sector. This includes building a gas plant while also reducing the number of utility regulators, removing the state consumer advocate, and focusing on utility profits, ultimately leaving consumers with higher energy bills. Senator Wes Clymer attempted to send the bill back to a subcommittee for more discussion, but the committee voted against the decision. Clymer expressed that the committee didn't quite grasp the bill's details, which could impact billions of dollars and all South Carolinians. According to the state, Senator Tom Davis plans to work with stakeholders to refine the bill and have all groups agree on its objectives before he supports it. Despite all the objections and conflicts, the bill was still pushed forward without much transparency or public debate. However, the bill is now moving to the Senate floor for further debate. The timeline for passing the SC Energy Security Act remains uncertain.
South Carolina lawmakers are advancing a bill that defines anti-Semitism in state law. According to the Anti-Defamation League, last year there were 44 instances of anti-Semitism in South Carolina. Representative Beth Bernstein sponsored the bill, which hopes to give clear instructions for identifying and fighting hate that is directed at the Jewish community. Bernstein is the only Jewish member of the General Assembly. This bill defines anti-Semitism based on its definition established by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. Quote, a certain perception of Jews which may be expressed as hatred towards Jews, rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism are directed toward Jewish or non-Jewish individuals and or their property toward Jewish community institutions and religious facilities, end quote. Bernstein hopes that this bill will get passed with a hate crime bill.
The U.S. News and World Report released its 2024 rankings for graduate schools across the country. Let's see how USC performed. The U.S. News and World Report surveys 456 graduate schools, and the rankings are based on research activity, quality assessment, faculty resources, and student selectivity. For the 11th consecutive year, the USC Darla Moore School of Business International MBA program has been ranked #1 in the nation. The program has maintained a top 3 ranking for 35 years. Not only that, USC's College of Education has jumped up the ranks in graduate education. The college is now sitting at number 29. A significant jump from their spot at 58, where they had been at for the past 2 years. With this new ranking, the College of Education is now in the top 6% of education colleges in the country. Other programs include the Operations and Supply Chain program rising to number 16, the Professional MBA program ranking 19th, and the College of Nursing's Master's program at 22 with top honors for its online program for the 4th year in a row.
The annual Birdcage Drag Show returned to the Russell House last night. SGTV's Delaney Flanagan has the story.
Carolina Productions and Iris hosted the 26th annual Birdcage Drag Show yesterday. The event brought in hundreds of students to celebrate queer culture and see legendary queens from all over America. This year's headliner is Laganja Estranja, a former competitor on RuPaul's Drag Race. Performers strut into the crowd and serenaded students, hitting some killer dance moves on the way. Drag queen Medusa Chaos says that events like these bring people together.
It has that good feeling of like, this is your safe space, these are other people you can connect with, and just in general, like, it's just a fun old time. Like, why not? Why not?
Birdcage also welcomes people like Kyla Conyers who want to learn more about the art of drag.
It's really great to know different things that you may not know. So expanding that horizon of like, you know what, I didn't know about that, but I want to be able to know it so that I can respect it and get to know more about it. So
Iris and Carolina Productions even held a drag etiquette class before the show to ensure a respectful and safe space. Iris President Bernie McElnay shared their love and passion for Birdcage.
There is not a more fun series of entertainers that comes to this campus than the people you will get at Birdcage. Beyond. You just can't live without it.
I believe as an artist, if I can touch and change one life, then I've done my job and I've successfully done what God put me here on earth to do. So I really hope you feel the love.
For SGTV, I'm Delaney Flanagan.
Back during COVID, I got into a little phase when we were in lockdown of watching RuPaul's Drag Race. So I think it's pretty cool that they were able to get a queen that competed on the show.
Oh yeah, that's a great show. And I remember my time studying abroad in Barcelona. My friends and I, we went to a drag show and we had some of the most fun we ever had in our lives. It was great.
I'm sure, and I'm sure the people that were at Russell House had just as much fun last night.
Oh, for sure. Drag shows are awesome. Well, that wraps up our final edition of Student News at 7.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
And to keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv at usc.com. For one last time, for SGTV, I'm Bridget Bruchalski.
And I'm Erin Smith. From all of us here at SGTV, for our last time, have a great night, Carolina.
Forever to thee.